Hi there, back with another Football Manager 2016 update for my career with Toulouse. I've just finished the first season and at disappointment didn't make the Champions League places. Fourth place European spot with the Europa League, but unfortunately with a few games to go, I drew my last three matches basically, and with 2 games to go, if I'd won both my matches, I would have definitely finished third place for the playoff spot in the Champions League, but unfortunately I didn't. And in hindsight, um, one win and a draw out of those two matches would have been enough. But I was pipped by Monaco. In fact, in the last game of the season, I could have also caught Lille, who at one point seemed destined to finish second. And even though I could see Monaco were winning and I was winning, that wasn't going to be enough at that point. But then Lille actually were losing, and a surprise to me, I was actually above them in the league table at that point. But then I conceded after about 67 minutes, and from that point on, I was chasing shadows and ended up finishing fourth. So disappointment. Start of the season, I said the goal was to get a Europa League spot. I thought the Champions League spot would be beyond me and Toulouse, but I was right there all season. At one point, I was 9 points clear of the chasing side, but the chasing side, who at the time Montpellier, had a game in hand, so you could say I was 6 points clear at one point, so it's disappointing that I didn't quite make it. If I show you my results towards the end of the season, you'll see. I think basically you could say we bottled it. The last few games here, great win away at home to Olympique Lyon to set up grand finale. A disappointing game before that, got beat 4-0 at Lorient, but at the time it seemed like I was going to do it anyway. And then here, 2-2 draw with Saint Etienne, which again is a decent result, but these last two just not good enough. Troyes at home 0-0, Angers away 1-1, just not good enough. That's what cost me. Bottled it basically. Players, not a manager. Players bottled it. And back here as well, the French Cup, we got to the semi-finals and got beat on penalty to Stade de Reims. Again, I was a little bit stitched up because I had a man sent off, and then in extra time I'd made all three subs because of fatigue, and then I ended up getting another player injured, so I had to play most of extra time with 9 men. Held on for a draw and then lost on penalties, which seemed particularly cruel once I'd got to penalties. So no silverware this season, but a Europa League spot. And as I say, that's what the goal was at the start of the season, but it kind of seems like failure now. In fact, the board, when I renegotiated my new contract, I actually upped expectations to a Champions League finish, and now the board very kindly are seeing my satisfied with my management, which is a bit of a shame because obviously Toulouse finishing in Europe, it's a really good finish, and beyond anything they were saying at the start of the season, I think it was a respectable league position they were in for this season. So that's kind of how it is in modern football, isn't it? Football management. In the real world, it's like sometimes your own worst enemy by creating success. I created success, and now the board are kind of judging me against my own success and just being satisfied. Where at the start of the season they would have loved what I've achieved this season, but never mind. Okay, we'll look at some of the players, and Starman Ben Yedder, which he was actually injured for about 3 months of the season. You'll see from his stats, he's an awesome player. In a false 9, he's really a good player. Actually, he's League One Player of the Year. He got League One Player of the Year. He's got an average rating in the league of 7.53, 21 goals in 25 games, playing as a false 9. Awesome player. If you can get him. But at the moment, Everton are looking at signing him. He's valued at 9.75 million, but I've actually put his asking price up to 20. I'm not selling him because I don't think I could replace him with anyone similar. Certainly not for 25 million. Robinho, avoid him. Is exactly what I thought he would be, but in this first career in the new football manager 2016, I thought I'd give him a go, but no, still avoid him. I've struggled to get him match fit. When he gets near match fit, he gets injured again. So he's still only 80% match sharpness, and that's after I've had him for about 2 months, maybe a little longer. So yeah, just basically, he's never ever got to more than about 90. He's never got to 95% match fit and match sharpness. He's always just in the low 80s, high 80s match sharpness. He just never quite gets there. Then he gets another niggling injury. So just don't get him. It's I've got him stuck on £44,000 a week now, and he's got a 50% pay rise clause in his contract, so he's going to go up to 66,000, which is expensive flop. But I'll just try and offload him. I probably will be able to offload him to somebody. What else? So I shall bring up my season stats for average ratings, and you can see what kind of average. I'll just bring up the league stats. And I'll sort it by average ratings. So up to the top. So yeah, Ben Yedder, Starman. This Carl Toko that I've been talking about on all my updates. Yeah, awesome. 7.25 average rating. 20 goals from 36 games. Playing out wide in a wide poacher role, Rundata, what do we call it? Signed him for 1.3 million from Sochaux. Get him. I'm very happy with my defence. I've got Pavel Ninkov at full back. I've got William Mathieu at left back. Uros Spajic at centre half. And the other centre half is there. Jean Armel Canabig. All average ratings above 7. Well, I'm happy with that. Central midfield, I need to replace them. Actually, Plazil, he came third in the most assists of the season award. But he got 9 for me, and I think he got 2 for Bordeaux before I signed him. But 11, it doesn't seem that many. But he came third in the assists of the season. And he seems alright, but he's 33, so I need 2 new central midfield players. I play them in an attacking role, and that's what I need. So yeah, basically, just got to push on next season. I'm going to struggle with the amount of players because this season I struggled. I had horrendous injuries, a lot of suspensions because I like to play get stuck in, especially when you start with a side that's maybe not the immediately top 8 in the table. So lacking a little bit of quality. So I like to play get stuck in. Resulted in a lot of suspensions. I've had a lot of injuries, and I think that ultimately that cost me really. I dropped a lot of points where I was playing people who weren't 100% match sharp because I just didn't have the players basically. That's it. Yeah. I'll just show you one more thing before we go. Transfer history for this season. I just want to show you what players I got sold on. Yeah, I got rid of Tim Cahill again. I got rid of some young players actually. Kelvin, I do 2 million to Inter. Newman Bostan, who was a 17-year-old keeper, 2 million to Barcelona. Dido, I got rid of him because I didn't. He did his role attributes didn't really fit into the roles I wanted to play him in. And I thought he talked about these two, Maxi Pelican and Quintal Boigard. So yeah, I think from young players that, in my opinion, were about 3 seasons away from the first team, I've made 6.7 million selling on players that I have absolutely no need for really. Brought in 14.42 million, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, so push on for the next season, and I'll be back with another update. Okay, cheers, bye now.